Okay.
There we go, right?
Yep, I can see you.
All right, good. Give me one second. I'm closing the door and we'll get going.
Okay, cool.
Perfect all day, and of course, second I connect. Anyways,
Gorgeous.
anyways.
How are
Well, nice,
you?
nice to see you and be talking to you. This is fun.
I know. It's pretty cool.
All right. There we go. All right.
Yay.
How you hanging in? How you holding up?
Things are good. Things are busy. I feel like I'm busier than ever, but I just miss my friends.
Yeah, it's been tough, but you've had a great year by all accounts, and as you
Yeah.
followed your career over the last number of months and years, and you've done amazing things, and I'm really happy for you. And
Thank you. It's pretty wild.
what's it like having all this happen now? It's a strange year for these things to happen, but it's great stuff.
It's so many things at once. It's like kind of helps counterbalance just like the intensity of just this year. It's like there's just so much good things happening. So it's kind of bittersweet, but it's really awesome at the same time.
What did it mean to you to get this nomination? How did you find out? Did you expect this at all? Obviously, you knew you did great work.
Um, I wasn't expecting it, but I had submitted into 4 different categories. Like there was a main title category, original dramatic score, limited series, and this documentary series. So I was hoping for one. And this is the one. And then what's really cool about this category is it's existed for like 2 years. And it's created more opportunity for women because historically women have, worked on more documentaries. And so it gave a space for women, which is great because there's 3 women that are nominated in this category. And that's historic in general
Awesome.
for Emmy nominations as far as I go.
Congrats on
So,
that. How many of these women do you know? Have you had a chance to talk about that and share and kind of revel in that, the glory?
so I've met Laura Cartman, yes. And then, what's her name? Oh, Pinar Toprak, I think.
Uh-huh.
I have yet to really chat with her, but she's awesome, and I've loved the work she's done. And yeah, it's pretty inspiring and very exciting time for. It was a historic, like the statistics for who was nominated this year, just like across the board in all the different categories. It was like very diverse, gender-wise, from different people, different ethnicities, cultures, backgrounds. It was like, it's time.
Yeah,
Which
and
is
also
really great. Yeah.
and making ground also as a person of color in this category and a woman of color in this category is a special and unique thing too that I'm sure you feel the beauty of.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting feeling, it's like, it's really cool. But at the same time, it's like, oh man, there's so much work to be done. And I just can't wait to make more space for this. I just can't wait for it all to be normalized. I'm like just such an idealist. I just like can't wait for it to uplift, to be able to have just more voices, more people of color in these categories in general. And so, yeah, I mean, through this nomination, it's, there's been a lot of PR, a lot of press, and a lot of like POC, female composers have reached out to me, and I'm just like so happy that I'm very accessible, and I'm happy to do like mentorship and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I'm happy to help fast track these young ladies
Yeah.
to kind of just like be the next generation of composers or producers, musicians, X, Y, and Z. So
Yeah, what's it like to be in that place already? Because you're still relatively young, obviously, and there are.
I know. I mean, whatever I can do to help, so it's a weird position to be in because I'm just getting started in a lot of ways, but I do recognize I'm in a place of privilege too. So I have the ability to hire people at this time, and my studio and my teams are very diverse. Everyone's working virtually, but I'm just like really happy to be in a position where I'm just like able to like bring up more people of color, men and women, just in the studio space that would not have that opportunity otherwise,
For those that don't know, how much work to get to this place you're in right now? You've done some great projects. You obviously, from what I've seen and heard, you're a very talented person that was doing this at a young age. How much work to be where you are now? This didn't happen overnight.
No, I would say it was like a solid 10 years. So the moment I graduated, Vassar College, music composition major, flew to LA. That was in 2010, and now it's 2020. So this was kind of like the big breakout year. And it was like a slightly meandering path, but the focus was always music, And so the initial onset was like performance music. I'm still playing with my band, the Anti-Job. We have a new album coming out really soon. But
Awesome.
yeah, like
I'll ask you
around,
about that before we're done. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, in 2014, 2015, I just wanted to like incorporate like that halfway point. I was like, why am I not signed to a label? Why is this so hard? And so I was like, what else should I incorporate into my musical practice? And I was like, I'm in LA. There's so many like creatives. Film scoring just felt like this very logical pursuit. And so that's what I did. And it's been amazing. It's like the best decision ever made.
Talk about how you approach each project, because I've spent time with a lot of composers, a lot of film composers and TV composers, and everyone has different ways of doing things. And for some, every project is torturous, and they're pulling their hair out, but it's part of the job, and that's what they go. Other people, it's completely different. What's it like for you when you're in the thick of things and composing?
I mean, at the end of the day, I get to write music for a living, so it's only so torturous, but it's pretty great. You know, you just have like creative conversations at the beginning with the studio and the directors, producers, and then you're kind of just off running. And I've been in a really fortunate position that people are, hiring me for me being me as like the artist, my sensibilities and style of music that I've been creating and what I like to do. So I'm just really happy that I haven't had to be shoved in a box for a lot of these projects, which is really cool. Especially like with Home, they were just like, keep pushing into like the songwriter sensibility, just go for it. And there's like a lot of really cool textures using my voice and kind of using like band instrumentation for the score. So and same with working with like Lena Waithe on 20s or like Ava DuVernay on Cherish the Day. It's like I got to play guitar and I got to just like make weird bouncy music. And they were totally cool with it. And I feel like I'm kind of like, I'm able to create a new sonic palette that is film music. It's like, doesn't feel cliche in any way, which is really nice.
That's so cool, and such a diverse kind of bunch of projects. Everything's very different from and that's such a unique experience, and must be creatively exciting for you as a composer.
Yeah, it's very fulfilling. I feel like with band music, you kind of have to stay in a certain pocket and be like this specific vibe, and maybe change like every decade or something. But with like film music, you can just like go crazy. And I feel like my musical spirit was always kind of just like experimental and just dabbling in different types of sounds and textures. And I'm just really happy that, film score kind of lends itself to that. And so it like really works for me in the way I think.
Yeah, and talk about this more about Home in particular that you're nominated for, and how special a project that was and how you approached that.
Yeah, so that one was really cool because so a lot of the scenes, they don't have very much dialogue. So the creatives were like, just go for it, just have fun. And so there's probably like 17 score cues for a half-hour episode. And yeah, like each cue can definitely stand on its own as its own song for an album. And I feel like they kept pushing me in that direction to be like, yeah, just keep pushing this cue. Like, just go ahead and just like, as if you're making an album. It's like, once I kind of had that agenda, I was like, put me in a different frame of mind. It's like, it wasn't a composer executing a brief or like following any sort of temp music or anything like that. It was more like, just be an artist, just have fun. And so I feel like the fact that there's like, you have Apple TV and you have Apple Music, they intended to release a soundtrack, and they did with all the other episodes. And then I have a standalone soundtrack for my episode, which is really cool.
Yeah. And it stands alone as a great record. I love it.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Really cool.
And so, yeah, I feel like they just knew that they would love to have a kind of companion to the series, like having the soundtrack. So I feel like they were like, yeah, just keep pushing in that direction. And so I feel like that's where Home was really unique in that way, where it was just like, basically just make like an experimental like indie folk album and just like have fun. And I was like, yeah. And so it became kind of ambitious at certain points because I was like, now that you're in kind of in like the songwriter band state of mind, you get kind of self-conscious about certain choices. And I played all the instruments on the score except for drums and
Wow.
strings, like violin. So it was very much like kind of like a bedroom pop vibe.
Yeah.
Just kind of just like pulling everything together and just playing bass, playing keyboard, playing synths, and it was so much fun. And yeah, it was awesome.
And then that beautiful instrument that you have also with your voice to be able to add.
Yes. Yeah, having voice as a texture in score is So cool. I love the way Labyrinth does it for Euphoria. I think it's like, it's
Hmm.
such a cool sound. I feel like the human voice is just like, it gives a score just like this next level of just like presence that's like beyond.
Very cool. And talk about the relationships you've made in the industry, these directors and creatives that have hired you,
Yeah,
you've become colleagues and partners with.
exactly. So in 2018, I met Lena Waithe at the NAACP Image Awards nominee reception. And I was working on a different project at the time, the Greenleaf soundtrack, which was nominated and it won, which is really cool. And I let her know I was working at Lionsgate at the time also. So I was like tired of being in the executive space, like creative executive, music coordinator space.
Hmm.
And I was so ready to take the leap. And so when I met her, I was like, I just let her know. I was like, hey, I'm going to take a leap from this like studio job that I have. Keep me in mind. And I knew that she had been developing 20s for like the past 10 years and there was going to be a
Yeah.
pilot. And so I was very intentional about being like trying to like go after this project because I felt like I was in my 20s at the time. And I just like really identified with like the subject matter. It's all about being in LA and just like figuring it out and just like you're having your best friends and we're all kind of messy and just like doing the LA thing. But it was Lena Waithe and like that gave me that, that said that proverbial yes to like my first like commercial project. And from there it was like very fluid. So that first yes is like so important.
Yeah.
And then once we finished the pilot, we weren't sure if it was gonna get picked up. And then it was initially, a pilot for TBS, but then BET picked it up. But before I even did the series, I just went to Sundance on a whim. I didn't have a project or anything. The top of 2019, and I was like, the only thing I've done that was huge was like, I've done this pilot for Lena Waithe, And so I told everyone at Sundance in 2019 I worked on this pilot. And that's where I met Sujata Day, and she's like an actress in Insecure. She also did Awkward Black Girl. I just finished like last summer doing her first feature film, which is pretty amazing. And I also met Dime Davis, who is also nominated for an Emmy for directing. And she brought me onto a Black Lady sketch show, which was huge. And I went through all the normal vetting process like everyone else has to go through, just submitting demos and reading the script and coming up with ideas. But it's like that pilot was like my business card in the beginning.
That's great one to have. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I did a whole series of Black Lady sketch show, and then 20s was picked up. I did all of 20s. Then I worked on Home, and then I did like a campaign for Nike. And then that fall, all of a sudden, one morning I woke up and they were like, Ava wants to meet with you at noon. It was like 9 a.m, and I was like, ah. And so then I went to meet with Ava DuVernay, and I was like, didn't even prep for it. And I went into the meeting, and she was like, I was so nervous, and I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. And the only person that can get through my Do Not Disturb is like if they ring twice is my mom. And so she called twice, and I was like, I promise my phone like never rings.
Right.
I was like, it's my mom. And I like wanted to hide it in like the couch I was sitting. It was like the most awkward interview ever. And I thought I totally failed. But it took like a week and a half, and they were like, you're hired on Cherish the Day. Like Ava loves you. And I was like, this is crazy. Because that was like the worst like interview I've ever had. It was like so awkward and terrible. And I was like, wow, I was so nervous.
But it worked.
But it worked. Yeah, she has a really good poker face.
That's awesome.
She's
such a great talented woman.
I've learned so much.
Back in her PR days, I've worked with her for years. So.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah. And so Ava is amazing. Lena's amazing. Robin Thede is amazing. I just work with so many like bold and talented women, and they're all such leaders. I've just learned so much like about delegating and just like building your teams, and they're so awesome. So
I'm sure.
I feel blessed to have like come up with a community that really embraced me. And now I'm kind of like doing other projects that are like, where the subjects of like the films aren't Black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's easy to kind of tap into your community first and just kind of like grow there, and then just continue to branch out,
And do everything you can do it. And you talk about what you're working on now, or any other things you can tell me about that are.
Yeah. So yes, exactly. So there's a lot of stuff I'm working on, but what I can share is I just finished working on Love in the Time of Corona. It's a television series for Freeform, and it's coming out this weekend on Hulu and Freeform. So
Nice.
I'm excited. Yeah, they shot that during COVID, and they followed all the rules, and the directors were like in their cars, like out front, like filming, and they had the actors, the way they cast it.
Right.
The actors were quarantining with themselves already. And so it was pretty incredible. It's very authentic.
I bet.
It's like a mixture of iPhone camera and like Red camera. It's pretty,
it's
seamless. It feels like a real show. It's like, you can't believe they were shooting outside a window.
Very cool. Yeah, no, yeah, I've heard a lot about that. So that's really cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And talk about the band, because that's how I was first kind of turned on. Yes. I was a fan a while ago. So have that going, and what can you tell me about what's next?
Great. I'm so, I wish we could perform live, but we probably should start doing like Twitch or like Zoom performances or something. But we have like an EP actually like ready to go, and I just want to release it this year. It's been a lot, just juggling like a lot of the PR for the Emmy nomination, and just trying to find the perfect timing to like release like the band's album. And in my head, I'm like, what about at the same time? But my publicist is like, it's like 2 different lanes. So I was like, okay, I guess so.
Right.
So yeah, I'm so excited to share it. It's like a beautiful record, and it kind of pushes us in another direction. It feels like an anti-job record, and I think people will be really, really happy with it. And that should be, there's no set release date, but it's done. It's in the can. We just need to like, just get it out.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to that, of course. Mm-hmm. You can put into words what it would mean to you to win an Emmy for this project, and have you let yourself go to that place?
Yeah, I mean, if I were to win, it's kind of like insane. I feel like I'm just getting started. So I feel like that's like I would set my bar so high. It's like, where do I go? No, but winning, it's like, it's multifaceted. So it's like it would be like the first African-American female to win in a primetime Emmy score category, like not just this specific category, just like any primetime score category. So that would be insane. And I mean, I feel like it's just really important to just talk about, the state of Hollywood and statistics, and just kind of keep challenging the status quo and getting more, POC individuals and people from all different backgrounds is like in these roles, whether even outside of music, just like cinematographer, editors, post-production people, in front of the camera, behind the camera. I really look forward to, the productions and what we're seeing on screen, like reflect like what America looks like and what we see day to day. And it feels so natural and comfortable. So, I mean, a win is like insane. But yeah, I think definitely I'll just, take that platform and the publicity, the press or whatever, just to kind of just continue to have these conversations about, just like pushing the needle to like incorporate more diverse voices into just post-production, just Hollywood at large. And just having, just encouraging, just continuing to be very accessible. Like people email me all the time, and I'm just like, however I can help, I'm happy to help. And if I'm in a position to hire, I'm happy to hire you and refer you to other people. And I'm a co-founder of this group called the Composers Diversity Collective. And it's a group of like hundreds of composers of all different backgrounds all over the world, and just like continuing to grow that community, just so people feel connected, because that's like the biggest thing. It's like when you're kind of like a person of color working in your respective fields, a lot of times you feel very isolated and you don't see very many people from your culture in these spaces. And so like having a group like the Composers Diversity Collective and other diversity groups that exist, like for writers and editors, cinematographers, like they're so important to like help Hollywood with the hiring pipeline problem, and B, just kind of build awareness of each other. And, I totally tap into that community when I staff my own projects. And so it's just like a really productive and positive and like familial ecosystem that's just like really exciting and great. And it kind of really fast tracks people to like getting to the point where they want to be professionally, which is really good, as opposed to it being this big question mark. And I feel like the music industry shouldn't be such an enigma. I feel like if you're going to become a doctor, there's like a path, like a scientist, there's a certain path, and my family's like in science and STEM. But I feel like there is a structure to it. And I feel like once you kind of just debunk all these myths of like, and all these weird colloquialisms. Like, if you're good, you're great, and you'll rise to the top. It's just like, no, there's like a structure.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have to be very like surgical and like, continue to hone your craft and, do internships, and like, just like work with people that you want to eventually become, just like learn everything about your craft, like A to Z. And for specifically composers, like how to make a cue, like how to get the gig, and just like suck it up and just learn. And I think, yeah, with these groups, that helps like the education of that process. It just debunks all of it, and it makes it so much clearer, and people can be very confident to go into these fields in the first place, because it probably doesn't seem accessible to a lot of people.
Right.
But it is.
No, it all sounds great. I love how you laid that out. You sold me, I think.
Yeah.
You're obviously doing it the right way. So congrats on that, and very exciting everything you got going on. I'm real happy for you, and congrats on this.
Thank you so much. And I'm proud of you too. You're an awesome person. Thank you so much for just like uplifting voices, and just interviewing really cool musicians. And I love everything you do. You're awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. That's what I try to do. It makes it interesting and fun for me. So
yeah, that's great.
Cool. And you're going to play a little something?
Yes. So I'm going to play a cue called A Day in the Life. This is a cue from home, and it's actually a guitar duet, but I'm just going to play my side of the duet.
Very cool.
And yeah, the scene is like this adorable, cute family. They've just kind of like stepped outside into this like winter setting, and they're going to tap a maple tree. It's like so surreal and adorable and beautiful, but yeah, this is the cue. Here we go.
Awesome.
Get some here. All right, here we go. That's it.
Awesome. That was beautiful. Gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Made my day.
Yeah, it's like a really calm lullaby.
Very nice. I've been playing that a lot this week. So nice, nice to hear it live in person. About as live as we're going to get for a little while. So
exactly.
That was very nice. Amanda, real treat talking to you.
I know, you too.
I'm happy for you. Congrats on everything again, and continued success. And I'll make sure you know when this is all getting out and on and all that. And
yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Take care.
Yeah, take care. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.